All right, so it's the next day. Got my head back on straight. Chucked the part here in the vise. I went ahead and just dusted it off with the fly cutter just to make it pretty, even though most of the surface is going away. I've already found center, and got to hog out a bunch of material in the middle. My drawing is referenced off the center of the part, and let's see. First, we want to take 612 thousandths out of one side and 353 out of the other. Both of them 450 thou deep. So we'll start with the bigger side. So we want 0.612 minus our half of our cutter, 0.375 divided by 2. All right, and there's where we start. Go ahead and touch off. Go. Okay, go ahead and double check our depth real quick. Should be right at 400 thou. Close enough. All right, I'm gonna go almost to full depth, leave myself, again, another 10 thou for cleanup. All right, we're done over here. So now I want to move back to our starting position. Okay, so the other side, 353 thousandths, and then we have to take into account half the diameter of the cutter. So this time we want to go negative 0.353. And because we're in the negative, we want to add our cutter, or half our cutter diameter. There we go. Now we'll leave our usual 10 thousandths for cleanup. Close enough. Just do a bit of an idiot check here. Looks right. All right. Alright, I'm going to stop here and check my depth. Yep, still good. I'll get rid of that rib in the middle, and then we'll take everything to final size. Alright, let's go ahead and check depth. Yeah, I'll take that any day. And let's do a rough check of our width here. Should be 965 minus 20,000, so 945-ish. Yeah, close enough. All right, let's take the sides to dimension. All right, let's check it. I just remembered, I have adjustable parallels. Alright, so we're aiming for 965. Let's see how we did. That 1/2 over. Almost 2 thou over. I'll take it. Okay, next part to make is the retainer for the tool post that goes through the back side of the clapper. Now, because of the cranial flatulence I suffered from when I was cutting the register on the back here, in addition to counter boring for the bolt on one side, I also have to counter bore for the register, and a nice close fit at that on the other side. 1.213. I think I'm gonna let that cool down a little bit. It's pretty, huh? Or you know what? I'll just call it good. All right, so I've got this turned down to dimension. It's a pretty good fit in the back of the clapper. Now I have to turn the smaller diameter. So turn that down to 1 inch. And then, let's see, zero this. Or bring it back to 0 rather. Okay, so I know the clapper is 700 thousandths thick minus 178 thousandths for the step, which this is the original tool post. I'm just creating that. And then figure we want to give the end a little bit of clearance, so we'll subtract 15 thou. Okay. We should still be, yep, still at dimension. So got 210 thousandths to turn off this. And I'll bring you back when I'm close to it. Alright, that's a really nice fit. I like that. Okay. Now I'm going to go ahead and poke a hole through this. And clearance size for 3/8/16 is letter X. Okay, next is to turn a register on this end for the tool post to align on. And that needs to be now near enough to 800 thousandths to be a nice close fit, and call it 110 thou deep for clearance. Beautiful. Alright, I'll deburr this, part it off, flip it around. Alright, part it off, flipped around. Now I just have to cut this to length and then counterbore for the head of the bolt. A few thou under, 156. All that really matters is that we're not proud of that surface. And we shouldn't be. So next is the counterbore for the bolt. Which needs to be, call it 600 thou in diameter and 410 deep. That'll do nicely. I'll go ahead and chamfer everything. And flip it around. Put the bolt in. All right. I think that works. Still have to cut the dovetail over here. Still waiting on a cutter from a buddy of mine. He'll drop it off probably end of this week. But for now, one more part in the bag. So I finally have a dovetail cutter big enough to make the cut that I need. Unfortunately, it's too big for this slot. So I'm gonna have to do as much as I can with the dovetail cut I already had that wasn't big enough, and then come in and just take a huge bite with the one I'm borrowing. Hopefully this will work. So we'll see. I've already touched off and centered and zeroed everything out. So we'll see how it goes. Well, it worked. It sucked, but it worked. All right. There's only one thing left to do to this piece, and that is I'm going to consider this the bottom, and I want to put some kind of stop on the bottom of this that will, when the tool holder goes in, that'll be the repeatable position, rather than like on the lathe where the height setting is on the tool holder itself. I'm just going to use something on the tool post. But all right, I've got a few more dovetails to cut in the tool holder and the gib, but those will go much easier, I would hope. So on to the next.